Hello, welcome back to the Athena Protocol. We're on chapter 13, which starts on page 173. Jessie is leaving the party now after she helped Caitlin get the decoder out of Gregory's office, and they defused a bomb. And then Jessie realized that these files with all Gregory's blackmailing information were on the memory card in Paulina's digital photo frame. So she went back into Paulina's bedroom and took it. And then at the end of chapter 12, Jessie and Paulina were talking, and there appears to be a very strong connection between the two of them. But Jessie is kind of getting scared that she is getting a little too close, and they're talking about how Jessie's going to have to leave and go back to school soon. Okay, page 173, chapter 13. Once I've picked up my phone from the entrance where I'd left it with the security goons, Paulina has one of Gregory's drivers chauffeur me back into town. I give him the name of the Metropole Palace Hotel as the place to drop me, as I'd rather no one around Gregory has a clue where I'm actually staying. The ride back, alone in the luxurious back seat, is a quiet relief after the intensity of the past few hours. It's weird, but in the grand scheme of things, reliving that minute watching the countdown of the timer on the bomb is the thing that bothers me the least. For now, anyway. I'm sure it'll come back to haunt me in a night sweat at some point. What I can't shake off is the tangle of emotions that has come from being around Paulina. The touch of her hand on mine, her eyes smiling at me, and that song of Kit's, my song, and my mother's sandpaper voice taking me back to memories that are so real, I wonder if they ever really happened, or if I've just made them up. It's nearly 1:30 in the morning, and I have around an hour before I need to get to the address that Katerina scrawled on that business card. At the Metropole, I make my way into the lobby. A clerk looks at me, but I walk with purpose directly to the ladies' room, and then come back out and into the bar, which opens onto the street by way of a side entrance. From here, it's a 10-minute walk to my place. Once I'm inside my apartment, I empty my shoulder bag and put away the earpiece and climbing rope. Back there on the roof, it crossed my mind to slide Caitlin's gun out from the holster on her back while she was arguing with Lee. I would have felt safer heading to this unknown place in the dead of night with a bit of protection. But I didn't want to put one over on Caitlin, and I especially didn't want to leave her and Kit and Gregory's world without protection. Still, right about now, I wish I had a weapon. I don't know what's about to happen in the worst part of town at 3 a.m., but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a church social. I change into jeans, light running shoes, and a t-shirt. A jacket seems like a good idea, just to carry stuff in, and in case it gets colder while I'm hanging around. I'm starving now. I picked up a couple of canapes at the party, but frankly, a bit of seared tuna with sesame seeds and quail eggs dipped in whatever will only take you so far. I glance out the window just to confirm that everything is shut, and only dark glass reflects back at me, even the greasy burger place at the very end of the street. What is it about late-night hunger that makes you want to devour the kind of food you'd never consider putting in your mouth in broad daylight? But I find some bread from yesterday and a few slices of cheese, so I put them together and wash it all down with a cup of tea. Then I head out. So I had expected to be in among the depressing, towering apartment blocks once more, and I am, but in this little patch of town, something is different, just plain wrong. I park a fair distance away from the address I need. I don't want to attract attention coming in with the engine noise from the bike. It's starting to rain a little bit after a beautiful, clear evening. How nice for Gregory that the weather gods have played ball, keeping away the clouds till his party ends. The place that Katerina has sent me to isn't a specific apartment, but a small street running in between a couple of huge high-rises. There are few streetlights around, and where I'm heading, it looks like the lamps have been deliberately broken or turned off. That's the first thing that's odd. It's miserably dark on the streets, at least in this particular patch. But there are a number of windows that are lit, so even as I track a winding path to get to the place, I have something to guide me. The second strange thing is those lit up windows. Each tower block must have about 8 small windows per floor, and they are maybe 20 stories high. And a large number of them, especially on the lower 6 or 7 floors, have lights on inside. There are a number of other blocks some distance away, and at this time of night, they're all dark. Everyone's asleep. As I get closer, I move slowly, quietly, listening hard, and there's a sudden sound behind a dumpster. My hand closes into a fist. More noise, a bottle clinking as it hits the ground, and a stray dog slinks out. Its eyes are luminous in the dark, slanted like a fox's. Eerie. I watch it till it passes me and is well out of range. I continue on. Sticking to the shadows isn't hard, as the streetlights are now entirely gone. I'm almost at the first tower block. Inside the main entrance hall, there's a dull greenish light, one of those depressing emergency fluorescent things, but no one's around. I look up at the lit windows again. Another odd thing. Not a single window is open. It's not like there are air conditioning units on the outside of the building. Usually people leave windows open in the summer. And though I can catch the odd shadow, the sense of people inside, there's no real sign of everyday normal life. You know, mail on the entrance floor, a TV flickering in a dark room, even rubbish bags that people have dumped. In Katerina's building and the others around, there was that feeling that people were living there. No matter how downtrodden a place is, someone wants to stick a plant on a window ledge or hang their laundry out on a balcony line. There's nothing here. The building feels occupied, but not lived in. The sound of an engine startles me, then 2 engines. I look around, but I'm in a warren of small streets between blocks, so I can't see the vehicles, but they're definitely coming closer. I get off the street and into a little stairwell on the side of the building. My original plan had been to find a way onto a roof some distance away and watch the area using Amber's zoomed contact lenses. A safe, smart, intelligent plan. I try to remember why on earth I didn't stick with it as I stand pressed into the stairwell, which smells like 100 people recently used it for a bathroom. Something soft and warm touches my ankle, then runs over my feet. A rat slips by in the dark. I literally feel the hair on the back of my neck prickling. I'm not squeamish, but if there's one thing I can't stand, it's rats. Luckily, I'm immediately distracted from the disgusting rodent situation by the swish of tires over the wet street to the side of me. 2 large white vans, unmarked of course, pull up outside the other tower block across the street. I lean out of the stairwell just a bit to see what's happening. The summer rain touches my head and trickles onto my face. I don't dare move, even to brush it away. A couple of guys jump down from the vans, and 4 more come out of the block. They do some fist bumping and macho handshake stuff. One of them makes a call on his cell. Another moves off to the side, a little closer to me, to take a leak against the wall. They're all armed, shoulder holsters and pistols. My attention moves higher up the building where a few of the lights are going out, and now, down into the greenish, miserable lobby come 2 more armed guys, followed by a long line of women. I say women, but they're girls, a lot of them, my age, maybe even younger. I had thought, going in, that this must be where most of the women trafficked by Gregory do their work, but these girls don't look like they're up to speed with that line of business. Not yet. They look scared and tired. I catch glimpses of faces as they trudge through the lobby, and then out into the rain. What really throws me is that there are also a few boys, young men, maybe 18, 19, small, quiet-looking. Along with the girls, they're pushed to get into the first white van. Once that fills up, the men direct them over to the other. No one tries to resist. In fact, the armed thugs sound positively encouraging, like they're herding up reluctant kids and heading out for a lovely trip to the seaside. Behind me, I can hear something, another animal probably, shuffling through the dirt in the stairwell, but I make myself ignore it and focus on what's happening ahead of me. I'm working out how fast I can get back to my motorcycle to follow the vans when I feel it. I wish it were a rat or anything but this. The cold touch of a silencer against the back of my head. It must be the guy who just peed against the wall. He's the one who's missing from the group across the road at the other block. I put my hands up and start to turn, but he tells me to stay still. He says it in Serbian, but I'm not in much doubt about the meaning. A hard push of the gun against my head urges me forward. My eyes look for escape, for something to hit him with. But the truth is, I can't do anything. I'm faster than most people, and I know martial arts techniques that give a girl my height and weight a good chance against a man twice my size. But they all need a moment. Just one, to surprise, turn, hit. And I don't have that. Not with a bullet inches from my brain. It's funny, but what I think about now is Ahmed. How he looked after I shot him. How I would look the same way if this trigger got pulled. As we approach through the spitting rain, one of the other guys looks up. He asks my captor what's happening, and they have an exchange, from which I gather that the guy who's escorting me at gunpoint assumes I was in the building and tried to run and hide. I am the same age as the others, and dressed in a similar way. They shake their heads at me, disapproving, and I swallow down panic. What if they make an example of me by shooting me in front of the others? The doors of the first van are slammed shut, and the second is almost full. I'm shoved forward, and before I can do anything about it, I'm in the second van. 2 more girls are hustled in behind me, and the doors crash shut, dropping us into complete darkness. Outside, I hear a lock being turned, a solid metal clang that feels very final. 10 seconds later, the engine starts and the van pulls away. I'm trapped inside with 30 other people and no idea of where I'm going.